Hello again, Internet. Welcome back to my vlog. Thank you once again for joining me. This week I'm going to be talking about a topic that somewhat matters to me. Hopefully it matters to some of you as well. That is, will classic cars always be popular? Now, I know as far as insurance purposes go, 25 years is a classic car. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about stuff made before the 1980s. Stuff like your dad probably had or wanted to have, to that effect. So, what I believe is that the answer to the question of whether or not classic cars will always be popular is yes and no. Why is that? I think there will be less people that want to buy classic cars in the future, simply because there wouldn't have been as many people that have been around them. But I think the people that do want to buy classic cars will want to buy them just as much, or possibly even more, because they're only getting harder to find. Now, there are some cars that I think will always be popular. There are a few groups that just won't go out of style. They haven't yet. People still like to buy hot rods that were customized in the 50s, or build hot rods that look like they were customized in the 50s. So, that's one group of cars I think that will remain popular. Or 1930s hot rods. The 32 Ford will always be in some kind of demand. They're getting hard to find in unrestored condition, if it's even possible at all. I also think that people like to keep street rods around, which a lot of times are 30s cars. The next group of cars I think will always be popular. If you've seen the video that came out last week on my channel, I believe the Tri-5, the 55, 6, and 7 Chevrolet cars will always be popular. Why is that? Pretty much the same reason. The cars came out 60 years ago, and they've been popular since then. People like them stock, people like them modified. There are even people that aren't very old that are buying them and racing them still. Look at Roadkill and Finnegan's Blasphemy. And the next group of cars that I think will be popular, easy, muscle cars. I'm talking pretty much every car made between 1960 and the early 70s. Maybe not quite 1960. Anything made between the early 60s and the early 70s will pretty much stay popular. Why is that? People see them on the road now, and you just have to look at them, unless you care nothing about cars. They draw your attention, they look good, they sound good. They can be fast, at least in a straight line, without a whole lot of effort. And finally, I think weird cars will keep gaining popularity. Why? Simple. People want to stand out. If you go to any car lot now, you can buy a car that looks like everything else on the road. Even if you buy a used car, even if you buy a performance car. But if you buy an old car, it'll stand out, even amongst other old cars. They look different. People buy wagons and stuff that wasn't popular then. Really, wagons are more popular, at least as far as enthusiasts go, than they were back then. I think it will be interesting to see what happens to those cars that have been recently selling in the multi-million-dollar range. I'm talking like the cars from the 20s and 30s and stuff like 50s and 60s Ferraris and Porsche. I think they'll remain popular, but I don't know if they'll stay that valuable. It'll be interesting to see, because I know a lot less people that are younger and are into cars like to buy a car and then not drive it. And a lot of people that buy those $10 million cars don't drive them a lot. Don't get me wrong. There are some people that'll drive them no matter what. And I think that's how it should be. But I just don't know if they're going to stay so valuable. They probably will stay very popular because those cars, when you see them in pictures or on TV, on shows like Chasing Classic Cars selling for $10, $15 million, you just don't get it. And really, there's no way I would want to pay that much money for one of those cars, even if I had that much money. But after seeing one of them in person, I got it. Those cars are gorgeous. Also, I have no idea what kind of Ferrari this is in the picture here, so I don't know if it's worth a few $100,000 or $10 million. Let me know. Well, that's enough rambling for 1 week. Next week will be another one of those cars that I think will stay popular, kind of like last week. Thank you for watching.